Okay, so right now working on a Toyota Rav 4, and we're gonna take the alternator off. So right now my partner here is taking out the battery.
Because you only have to disconnect one side of the battery, but because the battery got ran down, I'm going to charge it, and it's stuck on the street right now, so it's easier for me just to take the battery out. Okay, so negative first.
Negative first.
Never leave the negative by itself. Then I took the positive off. Now this is what's holding it down. It looks like I need to take this off, and there's a bolt under there too.
Okay.
So you just push these little rivets down. There's a whole bunch of them. And then up comes your plastic. Don't lose any of your rivets. And then you can take out the second one here. It's a 10 millimeter. So battery's going to come out. First thing I'm going to do is hook it up to the charger so that it'll be charged up. Then we'll get back to the alternator. Okay, it's really hard to see this. If you look at where the bottom of my ratchet handle is, there's a 19 millimeter hex bolt there, and that's your tensioner release. Really tough to see. It is there, and it is a 19. So what we want to do is somehow get my socket in there without kicking the cameraman out of the way. And of course I'm using a 6-point socket. There we go. And now I'm just going to lean down on my ratchet, and that's going to release the tension. And without pinching my fingers here, I'm going to just remove the belt off the alternator. Okay, so jam the tensioner down, then the belt comes off. Of course, it loops back over this one, so it'll be much tighter. That's why you got to jam that tensioner down with that 19 down there. Then we're up here. This comes off here. This comes up here. There's a little release tab down on this side. There we go. Okay, just to help protect the wire. Now we're looking like a couple of bolts to take out. One down there. And there's probably going to be another hidden one somewhere, and we'll come back to you with that. Give me one sec here. Okay, so it sits in like this. You've got one big bolt that sits in through here. Then you've got one small bolt that sits in down here. This is the hidden bolt down here. 14 and a 12. Then wire to take off here, wire to take off here. This bracket is on here, and then you've got this wire connector right here, and that just sits in there. All you got to do is pinch those two tabs in and it pops right out. A little tight, as you can see. These things always happen when you don't do it every day. Yeah. Anyways, we'll show you how to put it back together. All right, so we got the alternator out. Long weekend on Sunday, we got it rebuilt. Where would you get an alternator rebuilt on a long weekend Sunday? You call this guy.
Wally. Wally's Auto Electric. There's his phone number, 905-488-4400.
If you are in Brampton or anywhere close to Brampton, this is the dude that'll help you out. Refurbish the whole thing, 150 bucks, 1-year warranty. It doesn't get better than that. All right, I'm gonna put it back in. Two bolts need to go in for this alternator on the 2007 Rav 4, and this is the 4-cylinder 2.4 liter. You got your top bolt and your bottom bolt. You can see in here, top bolt, bottom bolt. Then put the belt on, hook up all your wires, then put in your freshly charged battery. All right, we'll be back to show you how it goes. Okay, so top bolt, you can see. The bottom bolt you can't. So again, just get it finger tight so you can get the other bolt in so you have room to move it so you can line it up. Get them in, make sure they're both started, and then again, they're going in nice and smooth with my fingers. So now I'm gonna go for my tools and tighten them down, and then we'll come back to hook up the electrical and put the pulley back on. Back in a sec. Now we're going to do the tensioner. So there's a big bolt down here. It's your 19 millimeter. It's really tough to see. If you back up and you look through here, where my left hand is with my ring on it, that's the bolt right here. It's a 19 millimeter, 6-point socket. Get it on there, push towards the front of the car. We'll give you the tension, or release the tension on the belt to get it over the pulley. So I'll show you that after I get it done, because this is one of those things you won't be able to see anything while I'm doing it. Normally, your serpentine belt has got a picture on the car somewhere. Normally, or at least it did when I used to work on cars years and years ago.
Yeah.
Always try to take a picture of the way serpentine belt is routed, or look for the picture before you take it off.
Yeah.
And for all you people that have a broken belt, well, what can I say? You should have taken a picture of it before you broke the belt. Anyways, back in a sec. Okay. So of course, because the alternator's not working, the battery lost its charge. So we've had it hooked up to the charger. We're down to the 1 amp here, so this should be good enough. We're close to the 100%. Most mechanics will tell you, you need a new battery too. They like taking your money.
Yeah.
So we're gonna charge it and check it. And then if it does need a new battery, we will replace it. Mind you, this battery is 5 years old. We should get more than 5 years out of battery nowadays, usually 7 to 10 years. So we got it charged up. We'll see how it does, and we're going to check it with the multi-tester and show you guys how to do that too. Back in a sec. Okay, so these things love to go missing, and it says positive on it. I like when the cable is red, because then you can't screw it up. This battery probably could flip the other way and possibly reach. Probably not, but you might run into that. So one little thing is, maybe you should color it red. Make sure you don't lose the positive symbol. But another one is, if you look here, the positive terminals are always bigger than the negative terminals. So usually the bigger hole is the positive. But simply, mark it. Don't lose it, so that you know.
Yeah.
All right. Going back together. Sulfur, enemy. While you got it apart, just brush it. Clean it up, wipe it off. Remember, this stuff will eat through your clothes and stuff. You don't need to buy your brushes from Snap-on or Mac. You get them wherever you get them for cheap. Just buy 10.
Okay.
Too many people have replaced batteries because of bad connections. And
Meanwhile, all that you need is a brush.
Meanwhile, the mechanic kept your battery for using it for jump starts or put into his wife's car.
Yep.
All right. We'll show you guys the final product with some electrical testing with just a multi-tester. Coming right up. Okay, so there's a pulley back here, and you got your tensioner at the front, your 19 millimeter bolt in here. What really helped me get the pulley on was not only did I push down on the tensioner at the front, but I spun that at the back, which just gave me that tiny little bit more slack to get the belt all the way on. So you end up standing beside the car on this side, and you got your tensioner in here, and you got your hand back here. You push down on the tensioner, and you turn the back pulley just to help you get it on. And that's what helped me. All your wires are on.
Yep.
Battery's back in place. Time to get the multi-tester. Check your voltage. While you turn everything on, make sure you have above source voltage. We'll go over that. Let me go get my multi-tester. So to release these, you just push them in with your little screwdriver. And then to reset them, you open them back up and you push them through like that, so they pop up like that. Now when you go to put them in place, you just push down and it locks it in.
Yep.
I used to work with a buddy of mine. Anytime he worked on your vehicle, you'd get all new of these because he would just rip them apart. Oh, they're only like $3 a piece or something, but after 6 of them, that's like 20 bucks. So learn how to do them.
Yep. So now, when you got this in place, all that you need to do is just line it up like that and push down on it.
It compresses now.
Yeah. And then all that you need to do, slide it in, push it down. That's it. And it's in place now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check the battery voltage with this.
So I set it to 20 volts DC. That's the straight line. My favorite thing was when I was a mechanic back in the day, when digital multi-testers were new, guys would ask me for a test light and I would give them this just to watch the look on their face. And they'd be like, and nobody knew how to use one of these.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your tools. and you don't need fancy tools. You can do things with a $40 Mastercraft tester that I've had for over 20 something years that I need to replace the battery on.
Yeah.
Anyways, give me 1 second.
So we're gonna check false voltage.
So here's the tester. So I've got at the battery a steady 12.92 volts.